Hey guys, my name is Steve Weinberg, and a couple of months ago I started building and donating some desks for kids and families in need. And I started posting a couple of videos on LinkedIn and some other areas, and some local news stations picked it up and got some pretty good responses. And a lot of people asked me, hey, do you have some instructions that I could follow along to go ahead and build these as well? So today we're going to film a tutorial of how to build a really cool desk in under an hour. So here we go. Hey guys, so the first step we're going to do here is actually build the desk box. And after a couple of minutes, you're going to have something that looks just like this. So to do that, you're going to need a sheet of plywood, 2 feet by 4 feet. And I so happen to have one of those right here. And everything I'm saying here, by the way, will be on a full-blown materials, cut list, and instructions list down below. So if I'm going fast, don't worry, you'll be able to reference everything I'm saying. So we're going to measure for our top piece. The first measurement is going to be at 17 and a half. And I drew a pencil line right here. That represents our top. The next piece is going to be the same, at 17 and a half. Then you're going to need to make 2 more marks at 4 inches for the 2 sides and the back. Okay guys, so I've set up my fence at 17 and a half. So I'm going to make my first 2 cuts, one for the top piece and one for the bottom piece, just like I said. So here we go. So we've cut our top and bottom, and now we have roughly a piece left over that's 12 3/4 by 24. This is what will get our 2 sides and our back. So I've set my fence at 4 inches, and I'm just going to make 3 passes, and then I'll have my 2 sides and my back. So here we go. So we just made our cuts, so we have our back and our 2 sides. So one of the design changes that I made to the original desk is I wanted some overhang on each side so the legs are not shooting up and you can't touch the legs or possibly get a splinter when you're handling the desk. So what we're doing is we have our bottom piece. This is 24. We're now going to trim this down to 22 and a quarter. We're going to do it both on the bottom piece as well as the back piece so they match up. So I've set my fence to 22 and a quarter, and I'm just going to make a cut on the bottom and a cut on the back. Okay, so after you've cut all your pieces, one thing I'm doing is trying to soften up the sharp edges. But I'll just go perpendicular first, and then I'm just going to do on an angle like a light chamfer or just round over the edge, just to soften it up and take that razor blade effect off. So for the sides, we're going to chamfer or soften up the 2 edges that will be facing the front of the desk. And I'm always an advocate of doing as much sanding as you can before assembly, especially on these edges that meet. It's a hell of a lot easier to do it before assembly versus after. So we're ready to assemble our pieces. What we're doing is I've got our bottom here. I'm just going to take a nice little thin bead. Hey, nothing inside, all good. So this is the box. Okay guys, so here's how we're going to cut our legs. And like I said, this is all on the instructions list. The legs are going to get parallel 10-degree cuts on each end. So we'll start off by taking our square and we just pivot to 10 degrees, make our line. And these legs are going to be 29 inches. I've made these recently. I made my mark right here at 29. And now I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to go on my mark and pivot to 10 degrees. And when I measure from one end to the other, right on the money, 29. What you do is you just bring this over to your miter saw and you adjust the miter saw to 10 degrees and you just cut right along your line. Now, as far as the side supports go, they too get a 10-degree angle cut, only here they're not parallel, but they're opposite. Again, we take our square, make a mark, and we pivot up to 10 degrees right here on our speed square. We come over here, and because we want the opposite, we're on this angle now, we're measuring 10 degrees to make our mark. And this way, we have the perfect orientation of these lines. And you go over to the miter saw and you just follow the line, and you have your 10-degree cut here, 10-degree cut here, and this will give you your side supports. And once you cut them, you're done. Like I said, then you're just doing your sanding and you're cleaning it up. And that's how you make your legs and the side supports. Okay, so we've got our box fully assembled. The glue is dry. We've got our nails in there. So now we're going to assemble the legs and the supports, and we're basically done. We're going to flip the box upside down. I've actually measured in 5 inches from each end, and I've made a pencil mark. I've got my piece right here. I'm going to put some glue right on the, the 3-inch span of it, if you will, and I'm going to set it down, and I'm on my mark. I grab the nail gun. I'm putting 5 nails basically on each one. So now I orient the leg the right way. I'm lined up on my 5-inch pencil mark. And these legs are good, so I'm basically just going to repeat this process on this side. So now we're ready to install our back support and our 2 side supports. What we do is, I measured 7 inches from the bottom of the leg. I made a little pencil mark here, and I went 7 inches down, and I made a pencil mark right here. So now I just take my piece, set it down with some glue, because when you're nailing it, you don't want it to move around. I also softened up the edges here, because I'm making this piece come right to the edge here. And I line it up, it looks good. So what I'm gonna do is just put a little bit of glue on, not a ton. And now we've got our back piece on. So now, we're going to put the side pieces on. For the side supports, I've quartered about 15.5 inches to cut your pieces. They get a 10-degree cut. And instead of the legs are parallel, these are opposites. So 10 degrees here, 10 degrees here. We're just going to put some glue, obviously, right over here. And I just give it a couple of shots with the nailer, and we're done. We just did this one. We flip it around, repeat the process on the other side, and this desk is done. Okay, so we're done here with this desk. Jack is kind of a little rambunctious right now. He's tired of doing all the work. Jack was helping us off camera. I don't do anything without him. It's like Uncle Si and his tea jug. Everywhere Si goes, that tea jug goes with him. Same here. So this is the end result. And I think, it's really a neat desk. It's really sturdy. It's portable. It's super lightweight. This thing, you can lift it no problem. And hopefully these kids will, have a lot better time of doing their schoolwork, and it'll help the parents with logistics and everything at home. I've had some people reach out to me from out of state asking for a video and a cut list, and hopefully this will do the trick. And if a bunch of us start doing this, that many more kids will get desks. So with that, we'll sign off, and I'll probably put out some more videos down the line, but I appreciate the time. And I want to thank Jason Greer, who did this masterpiece. All his contact info will be at the bottom of this. I couldn't have done it without his help, and we'll see you guys soon. Take care. And the irony is, sorry Mom, but I have to say it, at best I was probably a strong D as in disastrous student in school, and now I'm building desks for kids to excel and do better at school, so go figure. So that's about it. Take care.